2, 1.
Now that we have discussed on the unethical issues and challenges that are faced in the supply chain in the smartphone industry, we can now take a step forward and discuss about the ethical practices that we at Mega Mobile commit to. Because at Mega Mobile, responsibility doesn't begin with innovation, it starts with it. So let's begin with our first solution. To adopt a reasonable sourcing policy, such as aligning our frameworks such as the OECD and UN principles, we can allow proper reporting audits in many of our online documents. Not only that, by allowing a proper policy, we can ensure that our materials are being traced ethically and properly. Now, you wonder, why is this important? It's because it can help us gain trust with not just our consumers, but our partnerships and different companies. Now, let's take a step forward and talk about our next solution. Focus supplier traceability and independent audits. If we don't know where our materials are mining from or getting from, how can we know we are being ethically right? By ensuring proper evaluation and proper mindset, we can ensure that our company can find the best ethical ways of producing such refined materials or earth element minerals. By allowing this traceability, we can ensure no negativity of any consumer strikeback will come to Mega Mobile. Now, our next ethical practice solution will be prioritizing recycled and refined materials. One main issue in the mining corporations for many of these refined materials are the strikebacks toward the workers. They are underpaid, underworked, and overworked at the same time. Now, you may wonder, why underworked? It's because of the fact that many work small amounts in a dangerous area just to get small amounts of materials to get only a few cents. By being able to refine the materials, to be able to recycle the materials to create more batteries or other electronic materials for our smartphone, we can ensure less time needed for the workers to work and for them to be more safer. This will ensure more of a positive outlook and ethically proceeding practices. And now, our next solution. Investing in suppliers and local communities, it correlates with what we were discussing about refined materials and how they work so hard. We should support such mining industry workers and help the local communities, even if it's simple, by providing more supplies of food or any other materials. By allowing a proper practice on ensuring better working environment for such people, we can provide an ethical practice in our company at Mega Mobile. Because Mega Mobile always believe that our workers are number one. And now for my final solution. When with the invest of the local communities, we also should look into other companies and follow their guidelines. With Glencore showing the power of abuse, we can see how being unethically can cause a major problem and funds toward our company. However, Mega Mobile can follow one company that is properly made. Umicore. Umicore is one major company that Mega Mobile would like to follow, as they provide many beneficial ethical practices that can ensure proper evaluation. Now, we should not just focus on making more ethical procedures or practices that can shape our company, but also remodel it completely. As such, following Umicore, the way they structured, is one of the most best ways for Mega Mobile to commit to, if we want to ensure ethical procedures to be shown in such industry as the supply chain smartphone. Now that we have talked about the different solutions, we can go forward. Because at Mega Mobile, we know that every single transparency we have will always be docked, will always be looked into. And we need to ensure that it's properly funded and ethically sourced. Because at Mega Mobile, it isn't about sustainability, it's about our standards and how we are show the other companies and other world that there is an easier and simple way to get materials and to construct smartphones such as those without going to any unethical practices. And now, I'd like to conclude my TED Talk. Thank you.
The device in your hand connects you to the world, text to the loved ones. Videos that inspire, apps that can change lives. But what if I told you that sleep gadget might carry the weight of human suffering? Hiding inside our minerals are in a war zone, extracted under brutal conditions, finding violence far from our daily lives. How minerals power our smartphones. The conflict minerals used such as tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold are vital for smartphone functionality, used in applications like soldering, components storing electric energy, and connecting source sites. Have you ever stopped and think what's inside your smartphone? Not just the screen or battery, but a tiny, powerful minerals that make it all work. Every tap, every photo, every call. It all depends on elements hiding deep beneath the Earth's surface. Inside your smartphones are over 30 different minerals. Gold, copper, and silver carry electricity through their source. Lithium power, the rechargeable battery that keeps your phone alive all day. Tin connects tiny components on the circuit board, while tungsten makes your phone vibrate when you get a message. The color and the sound of technology are rare earth elements, like neodymium and dysprosium. Make your speaker strong and your sound crystal clear. Smartphones also depend on rare earth elements, our group of 17 special materials that make our devices work better. Other like earth, your phone like others earth. Your phone wouldn't look or sound the same, but the screen is gonna bright red, green, and blue. Which these earth, your phone wouldn't look the sound or sound the same, but all the stories shine as bright. Some of these minerals are placed in places workers face dangerous conditions. These are often violence and explosion. Tech companies today are working to trace their supply chain in China, and they are source for creating for smooth performance, fast processors, and bright visuals we all accept in our phones. But it's important to remember that the mining these minerals can harmful the environment and affect the living of people who work these minerals. That's why recycling old phones and supporting responsible mining really matters. When we reuse these minerals, we help cut down the population, save natural resources, and protect human rights. So the next time you hold your phone, remember it's more than metal and glass. It's a piece of planet that powered by minerals that connect all people around the world. With responsible choices, we can make sure that the company builds a future fair for everyone. Thank you.
That sleek device in your pocket, powering our connected world, might seem wonderful and all, but what if I told you that every swipe and every scroll could be funding violence, destroying our planet, and exploiting the vulnerable? Today, I'm diving into the dark. Conflict minerals in electronic supply chain, such as titanium, tin, tungsten, and gold, that make these gadgets possible, are often sourced from war-torn regions like the Democratic Republic of Congo, which create a web of conflicts such as legal, environmental, and ethical nightmares. And here's the problem. Companies that are responsible for these issues are not only ignoring these problems, they're making them worse. First, let's talk about conflict concerns. In places like the DRC, mining for these minerals directly funds armed groups, which perpetuates cycles of violence and instability. According to a 2022 Forbes article titled "The Persistent Problem of Conflict Minerals," over 5 million people have died in Congo's conflicts since the 1990s due to violence, with minerals trade funding violent groups. This isn't abstract. These are real lives lost, families displaced, and communities terrorized. Yet companies worsen this by prioritizing cheap materials over due diligence and pouring millions into these conflict zones through dense supply chains. Then there's the legal conflict. Laws like the U.S. Dodd-Frank Act require companies to disclose their use of conflict minerals to prevent funding wars. But as Forbes reported in the 2022 analysis titled "Supply Chain Ethics: Why Companies Are Still Failing," nearly 40% of Fortune 500 companies remain non-compliant. The problem, Many firms cut corners, they're falsifying documents or shifting sourcing to evade inspection, which not only violates international regulations, but also sets a dangerous pattern, allowing bad actors to thrive and eroding global trust in corporate accountability. Environmentally, the toll is devastating. Mining these minerals destroys ecosystems, causes deforestation, toxic runoff, poisoning rivers, and biodiversity already lost in fragile areas. A Forbes piece from 2021 titled "The Environmental Cost of Our Tech Addiction" estimates that mineral extraction in the Congo Basin has destroyed over 1 million acres of forest, which has led to climate change. Companies intensify this issue by demanding even cheaper materials, pushing suppliers to use destructive, unregulated methods like open mine pit mining, which accelerates habit destruction and makes sustainability goals feel like a distant dream. And ethically, it's a moral crisis. Workers, including children as young as 7, are facing exploitation, hazardous conditions, and the human rights abuses in these mines. An investigation made in 2022 called The Human Toll of Conflict Minerals revealed that despite awareness, companies often turn a blind eye. By not enforcing ethical standards, these corporations not only perpetuate suffering, but also normalize a race to the bottom where profit triumphs over dignity. The world is watching, and the problems are clear. Conflict minerals aren't just a supply chain issue. They're a humanitarian disaster that companies are amplifying through greed and inaction. Because here's the turning point. We have the power to change this. In the next segments, we'll explore how ethical sourcing can lead the way. Thank you.
First, I'll talk about conflict minerals. Conflict minerals are natural sources that are mined from areas that are affected by conflict or violence. Mining these minerals often causes human rights abuses and can harm local communities. There are 4 conflict minerals, which are tungsten, tin, tantalum, and gold. These 4 minerals are also referred as the 3TG minerals. Tungsten is a hard, brittle steel gray metal that has extremely high heat resistance. It is mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as in China, Vietnam, Russia, and Bolivia. Tungsten can be used in tools, light bulbs, and electronics because of its durability and melting point. Tin is high demand for use in electronics, packaging, soldering. Soldering is a technique to join 2 or more metals together. It is commonly used in electronics. Tin is mined mostly in China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Peru, as well as the DRC. Unfortunately, mining tin in some areas had been linked to child labor and armed conflicts. Tantalum. It is a hard metal that is high heat, high melting point. It's an excellent conductor for heat and electricity. Because of this, it is essential for phones, capacitors, and aerospace parts. Tantalum is mined in areas like Australia, Brazil, and DRC. Gold is a vital mineral used in electronics and not just for jewelry. Because of its good electrical conductivity, corrosion resistance, and malleability, it became important in making electronics. Gold is mined in areas like DRC, Myanmar, and Venezuela. However, these areas have been tied to conflict and environmental damages. Now I'll move on to rare earth elements. These elements have unique properties that make them important for modern technologies, such as phones, electric cars, TVs, and military equipment. Though they are called rare earth elements, they are actually common to find on Earth. They are just harder to mine and more expensive to find in pure form. Rare earth elements consist of 17 elements in total, which are the 15 lanthanides, scandium, and yttrium. Lanthanides are soft silver metals that are highly reactive. They oxidize quickly and react with acids and water. Lanthanides are used in TVs, lasers, strong metal alloys, and specialized glass. It is mainly found in Brazil, Australia, the US, and India. Scandium is another rare earth element that is important due to its durability and heat resistance, which makes them ideal for aerospace applications and high-performance sporting goods. It can also be used in bicycles, high-intensity lamps for filming in sets, and scandium Scandium appears to be light, soft silver, white metal that can appear yellow or pink when it's oxidized. Some major mining sites are Scandinavia and Madagascar. Yttrium is another soft, gray-white metal that is stable in air due to its oxide layer. Yttrium is never found alone due to the fact that it is mixed with other rare earth elements like monazite and bastanite. Yttrium is used to strengthen alloys, used to create the color red in TVs and LED screens, lasers, superconductors, oxygen sensors, and cancer treatments. Yttrium is mined in places like China, Australia, India, Brazil, and the US. Cobalt is another metal that is worth mentioning. Cobalt is a magnetic metal that is used in rechargeable batteries, aircraft engines, medical implants, and magnets.